for us to be able to put anything in a container, there's a few things that we need to make sure that we have down pat prior to doing this. You have to choose a container that have proper drainage. If not, your roots are going to get rotted. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to choose the proper soil. If you're going to do container gardening, you need a soil that is fit for containers. So if you go to the store and you see soil that says in-ground gardening, that is not the type of soil that you want to put in your container. It's going to say something like indoor and outdoor container plants. So because I chose that kind, there are certain things that I have to add to it to make sure that my soil is draining properly and that my soil retains moisture. I just choose to add more to it. So if you want to purchase this bag, you're fine, or you should be okay, but I go above and beyond and I choose to add more stuff to it that I feel like my plants will benefit more from. So the first thing I do is I choose the soil. This is my potting soil mix. And then I also like to use this black cow. I also add peat moss. It doesn't matter the brand. The peat moss will help your soil hold on to the moisture more. I also add perlite, which is this right here. It allows your soil to be able to breathe better, and it allows the water to be able to circulate throughout your soil better instead of everything being compressed and it's not draining properly. I like to also use vermiculite in my garden. It supports the roots. When I'm mixing my soil, I'll do a handful of the perlite, a handful of the vermiculite, and a handful of the black cow. And I'll mix everything together. And then once I am establishing my hole to plant the plants, I put another small amount of black cow in there with some all-purpose fertilizer, and I mix everything together and then I plant. If you know how to cook, then you pretty much know how to eyeball stuff. Sometimes when you pour, you be like, okay, this is enough. That's when you know to stop. You will add in some black cow. You will add in some perlite. I add enough to make sure that I get it to be mixed throughout the whole product. So if you pour some and it's not enough and you mix everything together and you realize that you don't have enough perlite, you just want to add a little bit more. And then I add a little bit of vermiculite. And I usually do the same amount of vermiculite than I do the perlite, which is usually like a hand, I do a scoop. So like this much is what I put in. And as much as I like to garden, I do not like to get my hands dirty because I don't know what's in the soils. Sometimes I see spiders and I see bugs and I don't want them biting me.